Well, there's something strange in the neighborhood. That's right, the Ghostbusters Afterlife Plasma series is out now from Hasbro and just in time for the movies. And let's just say this collection is a lot more than just spores, molds, and funguses. So let's suit up, let's switch on, and open them up. Over 30 years in the making, the long-awaited follow-up to the original Ghostbuster movies is here. Ghostbusters debuted in 1984 and haunted theaters, becoming an instant classic. And to this day, some still say it's one of the greatest movies ever made. In 2020, Hasbro debuted the Plasma series, a series of action figures based on the original film that would measure up in the eyes of both fans and collectors. These figures came with incredible detailing, as well as the same ghost-busting gear seen on the big screen. And to top it off, why not throw in a Build-A-Figure, or Ghost, into the mix with the original Terror Dog? Now with the release of Ghostbusters Afterlife, Hasbro is back doing it again with 6 new figures straight out of the film. When ghastly ghouls and spooky specters come looking to paint the town dead, the Ghostbusters are ready to answer the call. Kids and collectors alike can imagine slimy struggles and eerie ecto encounters from the Ghostbusters universe with figures straight from the movie. Featuring premium design, detailing, and articulation, and some really cool gear. And check out these boxes. Right out of the film, they almost look like they're part of the uniform. You can actually see the fabric and embroidered detailing right on the package. And each of these 6 figures features a Build-A-Ghost part that form together to make the Sentinel Terror Dog.
We got one!
Kicking things off with the new characters, we have Trevor. An average teenage boy, Trevor loves fast cars, reckless driving, cool adventures, and, like stuff. The Plasma series Trevor includes a proton pack, Neutrona wand, mini puff, and a city map, plus the right arm of the Sentinel Terror Dog. Next up, Podcast. Sure, he calls himself Podcast, and sure, he has a podcast, but don't box him in. He also likes gadgets and battling with mini puffs. He includes goo. Yeah, that's what I said. It's just straight up goo. An RTV controller, ecto goggles, ghost whistle, and mini puff, plus the torso of the Build-A-Ghost figure. Lucky. Looking for trouble? Head on over to Spinners, where lifelong Somerville resident Lucky and her friends all hang out. She features a proton pack, Neutrona wand, plasma beam, and an RTV. And don't forget, she also comes with the Sentinel Terror Dog's head. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. The original Egon, not Egon, but Winston. The doctors are all in.
Each of us is wearing an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on his back. Yep. Let's get ready. Switch me on.
Now I know we need to back off because we all know he's a scientist, but he's the guy that can't seem to keep his trap shut, both the device and his mouth. It's Peter Venkman. Yeah, we were pretty shocked too that someone gave that guy tenure. He comes with a proton pack, Neutrona wand, plasma stream, and 5 psychic cards inspired by the original 1984 film, plus the left leg of the Sentinel Terror Dog. He's the heart of the Ghostbusters and the most devoted to the pursuit of studying the paranormal, Ray Stantz. Ray says don't go chasing ghosts, but if you do, call him. He comes with a proton pack and wand, plasma stream, and Tobin's spirit guide from the original movie, plus the Sentinel Terror Dog's right leg. And finally, the common man of the Ghostbusters, Winston Zeddemore. He started by seeing a job advertisement in the wanted ads, and all he did was simply reply. The executive offices are a long way from the firehouse, but you can still always count on Winston, even if he has seen stuff that will turn you white. He's the final figure in the series, and like his ghost-busting brothers, also features a proton pack with blaster, plasma stream, plus the newspaper from the original movie with the job posting circled in red, and comes with the final part of the Sentinel Terror Dog, the left arm. Now, after we unbox them all, it seems to say here that the 6 pieces go together to form the Sentinel Terror Dog. Right out of the movies, the original Terror Dog was a vicious, dog-like creature that were portrayed as servants of Gozer. There it is, standing tall in all his glory, the Sentinel Terror Dog, and based on the newest trailer for Afterlife, we see a short glimpse of this new species of Terror Dog. Are these the newest creatures to serve Gozer in the afterlife?
What he means is Old Testament, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, the dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Ugh, that doesn't sound good. All our questions will be answered when the Ghostbusters face all sorts of ghastly ghosts and gruesome ghouls in Ghostbusters Afterlife in theaters November 19th. These highly posable collection of action figures embodies the quality and realism Ghostbusters fans are looking to trap. Grab the set now and add them to your containment unit over at toyschnip.com. And if that's not enough, the original Plasma series is still available, as well as check out our entire Ghostbuster collection on toyschnip.com.
We came, we saw, we kicked it.
We can't say the rest of that, and remember, whatever you do, don't cross the streams.
Why? It would be bad.
I'm fuzzy on the whole good-bad thing. What do you mean bad?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Total protonic reversal.
All right, that's bad. Okay. All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
Remember to click the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more fun from toyschnip.com.